time, and what if I believe you? Or what if and what if I could see you like I saw you the whole time? Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. I'm not your savior, so far away, blinded by anger, you forgot who to blame. I'll never be your lighthouse in the dust. If I had my way, I'd guide you to the rocks. Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. Poison my mind. You'll never be satisfied. Blame the divine. Eventually they'll find the time, and what if I
Welcome to Whiskey Oval _ at TV National Auto Racing Club, race number 1, throwing 42 drivers out there on the racetrack. Yeah, Weedsport, man, going to be an absolute blast. Qualifying is underway, roughly 35 more seconds to go. Then Chris, the number 44 machine, he has a pole right now with Joe right there, right behind him. In the qualifying session, their best lap times are up there on your screen. 360 sprint cars, the open setups. Race number 1. Weedsport 2, man. This is not the easiest track for the very first league race. Next week, they go straight to Lernerville and then to Limaland. A full 14 a week. Actually, I guess they do have a couple of off-week stuff like that, but regardless, we're going to race 14 weeks for the Outlaw series. As qualifying is over, heat race number 1 is upon us. And here we go. You better start off your league race a little bit pretty good, man. Don't want to start off with the crash and missing out on the Mac Daddy show. As drivers get lined up, here's a grid. As of right now, National Auto Racing Club, Crest Force, Wide Open Motorsports driver, the 44 machine. Shane, driver from the crazy state of California. He'll be on the outside. Kenny from Pennsylvania. He'll be starting in 3rd. And Justin, another Californian. He'll be starting there in 4th place. Daniel, he'll be starting 5th. David Flick, 6th. Alex, 7th. Brendan, 8th. And Eric Summerfield, Garmin Asylum Racing, will be rounding out the field. Let's get the music off. Let's get this engine volume up just right. It's going to be an absolute blast. 10 laps, top 3, go straight to the Mac Daddy show. 45 drivers, I believe, have entered in here tonight. So a long night of racing. The lights on the pace truck is off. We'll be going green flag racing for the first time in this brand new season for the National Auto Racing Club. Go check out their Facebook page, get joined up, jump into their Discord. Top 3, man. Qualifying always plays a big role in these 360 sprint cars, but here at Weedsport, absolutely anything can happen. We got the gyro cam, we got the cockpit mode, we got the outside shots, we got the camera angles set up just right. And here we go, the very first laps of race number 1. I think Chris may have just maybe tapped the wall going right into turn number 1. The 44 machine, or 25 there on his iRacing paint scheme. Gonna hustle and bustle off at turn number 4, clicking off another lap. They work lap 3 of 10. See, both of those drivers floated all the way out to the outside wall. Nose to tail going down the backstretch. That is Shea right there in that second spot. Here's the cockpit mode out of him. Seeing exactly what the driver is seeing. Does he want to look down to the inside in turns number 3? Yes, he does. Slide job for the race lead. We may be swapping for the race lead. Back here in third place is going to be Kenny Hoffman, and then Justin is going to be back in 4th place. You have Daniel J. Adams rounding out the top 5. David Flick, 6. Alex, Brendan, and Eric Summerfield rounding out the 7th and 8th spot. The outside shot right here. Shea is going to be our race leader. Started in 2nd now on a point. Chris fell back to 2nd place. Kenny trying to reel both of these drivers back in as everybody kind of gets spread out now, ripping the lip around turns 3 and 4 now. Justin rounding out the 4th spot. Daniel J. Adams. About the closest battle out there on the racetrack is right here with Daniel and Justin. .360 open setups. The track is extremely tacky. These drivers had about a solid minute and 15 seconds worth of getting this track broken in, and we had a huge mix-up. Chris just hits the outside wall. The driver that started on pole now falls outside of the top 3, and he will not advance to the Mac Daddy show out of the heat race. But Justin, if he can make it to the line, he'll go straight to the A main, and he does. Wow, big shakeup for this 44 machine, and not exactly how you want it to start out. Wide open motorsports driver. He'll fall back to 5th place. Daniel, he'll be the outside car looking in, so he'll have to work his way up from the B main. As these drivers are already getting lined up for heat race and number 2, Joe qualified P2. He'll be on pole for the heat race number 2. Landon will be on his outside with Trent, another wide open motorsports driver. He'll be starting in 3rd. And Jareth, he'll be starting in 4th. And Ross with Momentum Sim Sports, a 45 machine. He'll be starting in that 5th place. 3rd row outside is going to be Megs from California. Todd 7th, John 8th, and Ian will be back there in the 9th place, rounding out the field. A little bit of race info here at Weedsport. 0.34 mile racetrack, and we all know it, man. This turns 1 and 2. It's different, very different. And turns 3 and 4 too, man. You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for that inside curb, that inside barrier there. A lot of drivers like to mess around with it, and it can ruin your race in a heartbeat. So turns 1 and 2, man, at 3 and 4. This is not the easiest track to start off the season with. National Auto Racing Club, though, these drivers, they can do it. This is our 360 Open Series. No iRacing cap or nothing. Just join up and have at it. So here we go. We're stacked up. We're packed up. We're going to go green. A flag of racing once again. The pace truck is off the racetrack. Green flag's out. Joe is our race leader, man, but he has all sorts of pressure from Landon in that 17 machine. You have Trent right there, 3rd place, and I have no idea exactly what's going on, but huge contact. 2 drivers out of this race. They're all going to have to grab a tow. And look at the battle for second place. Heat up. Trent has it. Jareth and Ross wants it. Trent sticks to the outside wall. Jareth and Ross are side by side. Jareth is in this last transfer spot. He does go straight to the AM main show if he can just hold on to it. But Trent, man, he is getting very close to that outside wall. Pike looks down to the bottom side. Not quite, though. Cannot get the run off, and now he may lose a spot. As Ross tries to find his way to the outside, a little bit of contact was made with Jareth and Ross. But Trent, man, he has ran down Joe, our race leader, working laps 7 of 8 now. Into turns 1 and 2 they go. Our race leader, Joe, gets a little squirrely there. They go down the backstretch and into turns 3 and 4, ripping the lip once again. Trent looks down to the bottom side. Will he try to slide it up for the race lead? May not have to, but he does grab the race lead. So we're swapping for the race lead on lap number 8 to 1 minute and 51 seconds. Into this heat race number 2. Big storyline is back here for this third spot. Who's going to grab it? Make your night just a slight bit easier. Ross, third place right now. He is inside the A main. How aggressive do you want to be? Joe gets loose. Their drag race down the backstretch. Does Jareth Pike have anything for him? Outside looking in. We are going to drag race to the race line, and Trent's going to win it. Ross is going to come home in second place, and Joe is going to fall back 2 spots and finish in third place. But Ross, man, moved up 3 spots to finish in that P2 spot. A lot of action, man. A lot of action. This is a stacked heat race right here for heat race number 3. Very stacked. These drivers are already lined up, ready to rock and roll. Here's a grid. Brent Marks Racing Sim Team. Michael, the number 15 machine. He'll be starting on pole with Zach J. Miller. The number 5 machine, you used to watch him last season. He'll be starting on the outside. Bruce, elbows up, Sim Sports. He'll be starting in that third spot. Tyler Wilson with Wide Open Motorsports. He'll be back there in that second row outside. Third row inside, give it to Brent, the number 95 machine. And Patrick with another Wide Open Motorsports driver. 4th and 6th place, teammates. He'll be starting 6th place. Tim Alton from the Frozen Land up north. He'll be starting at 7th. And Brandon, 8th place. And Zane Walters will be starting back there in the 9th spot. Heat races are very racy, man. So your qualifying does not guarantee you that spot to the A main. You got to hold on to it. A lot of mistakes have been made up front as well. Here we go, green flag out. Michael's going to lead it with Zach J. Miller to his outside. Huge contact. Tyler Wilson starts flipping. No cautions in these heat races. And there goes Patrick Spangler. He's out of this race already. Tyler Wilson's lost 4 spots. Zane Walters moved up 2. Brandon's back here in the 6th spot. Bruce, he's back in 5th now. Frozen Land up north is Tim. State drag race down the backstretch. Bruce is going to try to get him on the inside, and he might get it. And yes, he does. 3rd place, it's going to be Brent. Zach J. Miller's going to hold down P2. And Michael holds down that very top spot. Halfway home to mama already. Only 1 minute into this heat race number 3. So we watch this driver, the number 95 machine of Brent, the John Deere machine. started back in 5th spot. Started back in 5th spot, and he finds himself going straight to the A main. If he can hold on to it. You got some very fast drivers behind him, though. Last lap times as everyone comes across the line. The last transfer spot at Brent Hagan ran a 14.1. Tim Mountain a 14.0. 3 laps ago now. Does Tim have enough time to catch up to him? To get to that back bumper? And again, Tim beat his lap time. 3 laps ago, and that gap is slowly dwindling away. Less than a second gap, too. Race leader Michael, though, he is just completely on a Sunday drive, completely on a cruise control as he sees a white flag. Zach J. Miller sees a white flag. And here it is. Brent, can he hold on to it one more time, going down the backstretch? And Brent Hagan started back in the 5th spot. He's going to find himself straight into the A-main show. Tim's going to have to work his way in. So same thing with Bruce. He finished in 5th place. Brandon 6th and Zane Walter 7th. Big crash, man. Tough luck for those two drivers of Tyler Wilson and Patrick Spangler. Man, lights on the speedway already coming on. We're not even done with the heat races yet. League racing, definitely race number 1 too, man. A fresh new season. Everyone's tied in points. It's nerve-wracking. It truly is. For the grid, National Auto Racing Club, we're on heat race number 4. Jordan, Team SSR. He'll be on pole with Jeremiah with Team SSR as well. He'll be on the outside. Zach 3rd, Brady King with SSR Elite, the sim racing. He'll be back in 4th spot. Robert Boggs 5th. Thomas Brandon with Team SSR Elite, the number 35 machine. He'll be back in 6th. Alex Hamilton from the United States, the 24 car. He'll be back in 7th. Colin Murphy 8th, and Donnie. He'll be back in the 9th spot.
Do you know how much I cry when you're not around?
Lights on the pace cars off. We'll be going green, a flag of racing. Man, some of these guys, they've had some racing luck on their side. They start deep back in the middle part of the racetrack. And some way, somehow, they find themselves up in the top 3. We'll see if it happens once again as this track gets worked in quite nicely. Jordan, he's going to lead the field down into turn number 1, but Zach, he may try to capture 2nd place away from Jeremiah. And he does. Zach's on a complete tear down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Zach does not want any part of that outside wall. That outside scary wall wants no part of it. He's going to try to stick that machine, that 360 sprint car, down to the inside wall. Sorry, moved up 1 spot, though, on the way, on the kind of middle part of the racetrack. Brady King rides in 4th place. Robert Boggs 5th. Thomas Brandon holding down to 6th place. A little bit of contact. Hold on to it, kids. Huge pile up. Everyone's able to keep it straight, though. Thomas gets the worst part of that. Almost a huge pile up coming out of turn number 4. There's our race leader working down into turns number 3 now. Jordan holding down 2nd spot. A little bit of pressure by this number 20 machine. Outside looking in right now is this driver, the number 14 machine of Brady King. Trying to make it in for SSR Elite Sim Racing as he rips a cushion. Lap 7 of 10. Go ahead and make a lap 8 of 10 now as they hustle and bustle down into turns number 1 and 2. The weird, awkward shape number 2. We're still on lap 7, not 8. Now we might as well try and make a lap. Number 8, and this is for that transfer spot right here. Brady King trying to make his way in. As Jeremiah hits the outside wall, a tough break for the number 20 machine. A little bit of good racing luck for Brady King. Now he's in it. Colin Murphy holds down the 4th spot. The 20 machines now falls back to 5th. Donnie Batiste is back here in the 6th spot. Man, that's what I'm saying, man. Some drivers have some really good racing luck here tonight. And there's our race leader. On the outside wall, coming home through the checkered flag. Zach Jordan coming home 2nd. Brady King, Merry Christmas. You come home in 3rd place. And a drag race to the line. The number 20 machine comes home in 4th. Man, some drivers just have that racing luck. Some don't. Absolutely crazy. As I think we'll get ready for heat race number 4. I don't see no cars though. Corey Austin from the land down under. Jamie McCarran. Kale, the Hunger Buster machine. He'll be starting in 3rd place. Brandon Garman 4th. Jake 5th. Blake 6th. Wade Field 7th. Kurt 8th. And Mason Hannigan be rounding out the field. Maybe it froze up on me. We'll have to jump out of the server and maybe jump back in.
Poison my mind. You'll never be satisfied. Eventually they'll find the time, and what if I believe you? Or what if I believe you? What if I go on, give it your all tonight? You can say anything you like. I'm not your savior, so far away. Blinded by anger, you forgot who to blame. I'll never be your lighthouse in the dust. If I had my way, I'd guide you to the rocks. Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. You can say anything you like. Go and give it your all. You can say anything you like. Go and give it your all. And what if I believed you? What if I could? Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. I'm not your savior, so far away. Blinded by anger, you forgot who to blame. I'll never be your lighthouse in the dust. If I had my way, I'd guide you to the rocks. Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. Go on, give it your all tonight. Oh, that's not it.
We can sum up McDonald's new
I think we're back live now, right when heat race number 5 comes down to an end. Sorry about those guys. My apologies. So we get ready, rock and roll with the D main. Here we go for the race grid. Tyler Wilson, wide open motorsports driver. He'll be on a pole. Alex Hamilton to the outside. Kurt Ney, 3rd place. Brendan, 4th. Landon, 5th. Patrick, Thomas, and Mason Hannigan. I don't think Mason made the start, though. Back here in the D main. Make sure I got everything up and running again. So, a tough break for the D main drivers. These guys will have to go from the D main, C main, B main, try to make it all the way to the A main show. We seen Tyler Wilson. He got into that big crash. Patrick Spangler as well. I said it last season, man. That number 10 machine. He doesn't have the best of racing luck. Some way, somehow, I don't know how or what happens, but usually just doesn't work out for him. Back under green flag. Here we go. Tyler Wilson leads. Here we go. You better make the top 4 or you are done for the night. So 3 drivers will be going home. 4th place, Brendan Howell has it. And then number 28 machine, Thomas Brandon looks to his inside. He had to check out of it before they made contact. So right now, Thomas Brandon is on the outside looking in. Only 8 laps around this place to try to make it to the C main. If you're in it, though, man, if you're one of these drivers that are in the top 4, how hard do you want to race that guy there in front of you? But we're going to keep our eyeballs right here for the 4th place spot. And a huge tangle up. With a 3rd and 4th place, or 2nd and 3rd place drivers. Now Kurt's on to the outside. All bunched up, coming across the line, working lap 5 of 8. Tyler Wilson has completely checked out with a 1.4 second lead. Landon holding down this P2. Thomas Brandon finds himself here in the 3rd spot, but Brendan Howell's going to fight himself on the outside. So now Kurt Ney is the only driver, or is the first driver to the outside of the bubble. Everyone's running that outside lane besides Thomas Brandon. Can he squeeze it up next to that outside wall? It looks like he's getting freight trained. 2 laps ago. Outside lane, looks like it's the way you want to be. Brandon gets a little loose, though. He gets loose right in front of Thomas Brandon, coming off of turn 4. Patrick Spangler with wide open motorsports. This is a white flag. They're going to have to drag race through the line. And Patrick Spangler just smashes the inside wall. Checker flag waves. That race was kind of all over the place, but Thomas Brandon does transfer in. Kurt transfers in. Landon, the same thing with Tyler Wilson. Man, that race was all over the place. And there you see it, the top 4. They're now 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th place. They're going to have to do it all over again, trying to get into the top 4.
But I can't. I wish I could just say no. Wish I knew how to tell you what I want. I wish I could, but I can't. It's been
Here we go for the race grid. Donnie, the 67 machine. He'll be out on pole. Jake, He'll be starting on the outside. Alex, third place. Ian, fourth. Zane Walters, he'll be starting that fifth spot with Robert Boggs to his outside. Blake, seventh. Eric Summerfield with Garmin Silm Racing. He'll be starting eighth place. John, ninth. Tyler, 10th. Landon and Kurt is rounding out that 11th and 12th spot. And Thomas Brandon. Alphabet soup time. Tyler Wilson, Landon, Kurt, and Thomas. Can they make it up into the top four? Jake's one of these guys that was in that very last heat race that we missed. So my apologies, but he's starting to the outside of the front row. These races have been hectic though, man. Doesn't matter, all the way to the white flag. Never know you never know who's gonna grab it. Man, that thing threw all my settings way off. C-Main, top four, 10 laps. One car already smashes the outside wall. It takes two drivers with him. Oh no, Robert Boggs was just in the wrong spot, the wrong time. Ian is out of this race. Robert Boggs started up there kind of towards the front. He lost 6 spots. Jake loses it. Does anyone else? Before I click off another name, we're just going to look and watch this outside view here. And there it is, 3 wide, coming off of turn 2. Donnie leads it. Alex going to be at second place. Blake third, and Landon rounding out the 4th spot. Zane Walters is right there with him, though. And we may be trying to make it 3 wide one more time. Hold on to it, Alex. Alex loses it. Now Alex falls back to 5th place. Zane Walters scoots up to 4th as they come down the front stretch and work themselves down into turn number 1, halfway home to mama here in the C main. Landon, he was a D main driver, and he has cracked the top 3. Can Landon make it home? 5 more laps. Tyler Wilson was our race winner. From the D main, he's up to 6th spot though. No caution flag, so these drivers got a little bit of work to do. Kurt Ney, same thing. He's back in 5th spot. And Zane Walters is holding it down. Can Kurt Ney go from the D main the D main all the way up to the B main? He needs 1 more spot to do it. And Landon has moved himself up to P2, and he's going to battle it out for the race lead on lap 8 of 10 as they work down to turns number 3 and 4. This track looks like it's getting completely slicked off now as Blake comes across the line there in the race lead. No Satel Racing Speed Shot 51 on that front wing, the 14 machine of Landon. He tries to look down to the bottom side. We're going to be wing-to-wing contact with our race leaders. Blake almost to the outside wall. Landon does capture the race lead. Blake still holds down P2. Zane Walters in 3rd, and Tyler Wilson 4th place now. Kurt Ney is back in 5th. And the checkered flag is going to wave, and absolutely crazy racing all the way around the boards. Blake and Tyler Wilson from the D main gets a keep on continuing. It's not over yet for those 2 drivers. Man, that was kind of some sketchy moments there too, with the 2 race leaders getting the white flag. They made contact going down to turn number 1. And that was one of the questions too in one of those heat races, just how hard do you want to race a driver there in front of you? I mean, with a 45 car field, if you're in that transfer spot, you know, I'm never in that transfer spot. I'm always kind of in the back, so I really don't know. But I think you just want to ride it home. Just bring it home to mama. Get into the A main. Those drivers thought different, though. So Daniel J. Adams, he'll be our race leader, or he'll be on pole here for the B main show. I think it's a top 8. Double check. Top 7. My apologies. Here's the grid. Daniel J. Adams, the number 75 machine. He'll be on a pole. Jareth Pike He'll be on the outside from the frozen land up north. Tim Alton, he'll be starting at third. And Jeremiah, the Team SSR driver, he'll be starting at fourth. Hunger Buster of Kale, I don't think he's driving his Dairy Queen car. Yeah, he is. Of course he is. He's back there in fifth spot. Chris Forsyth, the wide open motorsports driver, the 4. He'll be starting at sixth. Todd, he'll be seventh. And Bruce, eighth place. Colin Murphy, ninth. Brandon Garman, 10th. David Flick and Mace ran at that 11th and 12th spot. Brandon 13th, and the drivers from the C main. Actually, this driver's from the D main. Landon, Blake, Zane, and Tyler Wilson. That 17 machine at 42. Landon and Tyler. Storyline, the fun storyline. You absolutely love watching drivers do the alphabet soup. They just got to make it up into the top 7, and they have done it. Stack them up and pack them up. Do a little bit of shimmy, a shiving down into turn at number 1 and see how the dominoes fall. Here we go. Shoots out like a complete cannon. Daniel J. Adams grabs the lead, already a half a second lead. Pit lane, we don't want to miss nothing. We've already missed all sorts of wrecks. Turns 3 and 4, we got a driver blinking in and out, a couple of them. You can see just how loose these drivers are getting coming off that corner of turn number 4. Daniel J. Adams leads it. Jareth Pike and Jeremiah and Tim Alton. Those drivers hold a steady there in that 4th spot. Chris is 5th, Bruce 6th, and then the Hunger Buster of Kale is trying to hold it down. Is trying to hold down the 4, but looky here, look who's coming up to the front. Landon Cardoza, the number 17 machine, or 14, there on his iRacing paint scheme, almost makes contact with Hunger Buster of Kale. Needs to move up a couple spots. He has to get to that 7th place as he looks down to the middle side, coming off a 4 to the outside of Kale now. Can Landon do it to the outside? He moves up another spot. Needs one more spot now to make it to the Mac Daddy Show. Down to the inner side of Brandon Garman with Garman Racing. They drag race down the front stretch, coming across the race line. Everyone else is single file now from 1 through 6, so this is a race lead right here. Bruce Klingen is holding down that 6th spot, but both of these drivers are slowly reeling him in. Side by side battle. When does Landon throw the slide job? Racing lap 8 up 12 now. We're watching the driver from the D main trying to make it to the Mac Daddy Show. And as right now, Landon Cardoza has that last transfer spot. Bruce is to his outside now, though. Landon's still going to try to move up. Checking on board with our race leader real quick as he works around lap cars. Daniel J. Adams rips the lips, tries to knock down the boards. There in turns 1 and 2. Jeremiah 2nd, Jareth Pike 3rd. Tim Alton's holding back that 4th spot. Chris back here in 5th. Landon is now up to 6th place. He did get around Bruce. So now Bruce is in that last transfer spot. White flag is out. And here we go one more time around. Weedsport. There is a lap car. That is the... No, that's not the lap car. That's Tim Alton. I thought he was way off the pace. Maybe got a little loose. Regardless, checkered flag waves. And this driver right here of Daniel does get the checkered flag here in the B main. Jeremiah, Jareth, Tim Alton, Landon, Chris, and Bruce all make it. They make it to the Mac Daddy Show, and here we go. A little bit of warm-up session, which I don't think these drivers will take it. They only do the warm-up if they want to slick up the track a little bit more. I don't know if they want to slick this track up or work it in anymore. A little bit of different rule set. So these drivers do have a fast repair. You can only take it on lap 1 of 10. I don't want to lie. It's something along those lines. You can only take your fast repair, or you can only go into the pits on lap 1 through 10. We're doing a 30 lap A main feature. Caution laps don't count, so it'll be a true 30 lapper. 1 through 10, you can take that fast repair and or go to the pits. After lap 10, that's done. Absolutely crazy racing here at Weedsport. Absolutely nuts. "45 drivers, I believe, that made the call. Checker flag waves, warm-ups over. Besides that, I think all the rules are about the same. 22 drivers going to get the call to the starting line. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The first Mac Daddy show for the National Auto Racing Club for their brand new season for race number 1. Out of 45 drivers, only 22 drivers are going to make the start. We've had some alphabet soup guys, some guys that started in the D main. They've worked their way all the way up to the A main show. Man, definitely, it's big to get here to the A main, definitely with 45 drivers. But to be in the A main show in race number 1 of the season, that is massive. That is huge. So here we go with the lineup for the National Auto Racing Club. Shea, he'll be starting on a pole with Trent to his outside, and Michael third, as Zach's going to be to his outside. Third row inside, Corey Austin and Kenny is going to be there in 6th place. Ross 7th, and Zach J. Miller back there in 8th place. Jordan 9th. Jamie McCarron, he'll be back there in 10th spot. Justin and Joe, 11th and 12th spot. 13th is going to be Brent, and 14th is Brady King. Wade Fields and Daniel J. Adams, 15th and 16th. Jeremiah and Jarrett is 17th and 18th. Frozenland, Tim Alton, Landon Cardoza, the D main driver. I said that about 12 times now. Anyways, he's back in 20th. Chris and Bruce, 21st and 22nd. Big time. The nerves are up. The heartbeat is up. The adrenaline rush is here. And we'll be growing green flag racing as these drivers work down the backstretch. The lights on the pace truck is off. We'll be going green. Shea and Trent, front row. Green flag out. As a caution has gone a wave early on. Lap number 1. Where these drivers even got to turn number 3. Caution flag was waving. And Ross is showing red up on the program. The 45 machine. Tries to sneak it right on in. Gets a little help there on the back bumper. They're on that back Nerf bar. So back to light mode, back to race mode. That driver will be able to use his fast repair. Looks like he did get it as well. One more time. Here's a replay. Sheridan getting loose. That driver smashes the outside wall. He tries to just sneak right on in. Had to check up pretty big, though. And the 7 car just kind of gave him a little help. Back to live mode, back to race mode. Shay, Trent, Michael, and Zach. Everyone else kind of moved up a spot. Corey Austin does not get the start with the Chaos Motorsports squad. Lights on the pace truck, single file restart. Big time right here. Gone diamond cut off at turn 4. Shea, race leader. Here we go, back under green flag racing. Almost a massive pile up, and there you have it. They're just now coming across that camera angle. I thought that was going to be a massive pile up. Drivers get a little loose. When I say this is not the easiest track to start off the race season, it is not. Yellow flag waves. I think this may possibly be it. Think down here in turns 1 and 2. Watch the number 5. Big time. Hold on to it, kids. Great job by all those drivers to avoid it. Watch the nose cam. Coming off of turn 4, down the back stretch, or down the front stretch. So, big checkup. Shay, he's led every single lap so far. Here in the 360 open setup class. No iRating cap. Whoever wants to join can join it. See how his car handles, though, whenever we go back to green flag racing. This track is completely gone. Completely slicked up. They have not reset it whatsoever. Back under green flag. Another single file restart, and we got a little bit of spacing now in between some 360 sprint cars. Shay, Trent, Michael, Zach is holding down the 4th spot. You have Kenny Hoffman. He's back here in the 5th spot. The yellow flag's going to wave right when he was going down the list. Caution is back out on the speedway. See a lot of these drivers coming off at turn 4 and just their back end just completely wants a snap away from them. Landon Cardoza, driver we've been talking about all night long. See what happened to this guy. You guys can make the call on that. Little gyro mode action. Everyone comes across the line. We'll figure out who has moved up the most spots. Unofficially, our hard charger. Only a lap 6, though. very, very early on into this race. Right now, Justin, he has moved up 5 spots. He's back in 6th. Needs some green flag racing to make his way up a little bit more. Here we go. Try and give it another shot. Here's the completely outside shot here at Weedsport, as drivers work their way down the backstretch and into turns 3 and 4. Race leader Shays looked very, very dominant. Looking very strong. As Trent almost hits the outside wall, Michael Sheridan tries to go to the inside and not quite. And you can hear that throttle response as another driver right there behind him. He gets loose. That's Zach. The number 7 machine just smashes the outside wall. That car did not want to whoa up for him. These drivers can still use their fast repair, but only for a couple more laps. After lap 10, you're no longer allowed to use that fast repair. Zach brings out the caution. Here we go. I think we may have had 2 cautions. There was 1 caution, and here was another one. This is the one that we all see. Down the backstretch, and he just gets glued to that outside wall. Kept it going straight, though. We're 8 minutes and 50 seconds into this A main show and only on lap number 9 as of right now. This thing can still teeter-totter any way it wants to. We have 0 yellow flags, and this thing goes green flag on. It could change the complete complexity of this race. As we're going to do another single file restart. Can Shea hold on to it? He has been shooting out like a complete, like a cannon off these restarts. Can Trent hold on to that back Nerf bar a little bit better? Green flag. The gap for our race leader is a 0.2 second gap. Trent does hold on to that back Nerf bar a little bit better on that restart as they work down the backstretch and into turn 3, running the exact same line, that right rear tire all the way next to the outside wall. And check this out off of Trent's machine. They're in 2nd place. You can see how close that right rear tire is. It's not much air. As now Shea just completely pulls a huge gap on him. Swip swapping back here for 3rd spot. As Justin and Michael battle it out. Justin looks down to the bottom side, and now he has moved up 8 spots. If he can hold on to it, coming out of turn 4, and he does. Michael has fell back 1 spot. He's still in the 4th spot, though. Zach J. Miller slowly working his way back up to the front. On lap 15 of 30, we're halfway home to mama. Zach J. Miller trying to work his way back up. He is just outside of the top 5 as Jordan slides up to the outside wall. He makes contact with the whiteboards. Kenny Hoffman is sitting right there behind him, has the best seat in the house, watching these guys battle out for the top 5. Zach J. Miller is stuck on that inside wall, is glued to that inside wall, trying to make that 360 machine work for him. Back here in the 8th place is Kenny Hoffman, but Joe is back here in 8th. Sorry, Kenny's 7th. Joe is 8th. Brady King, he's moved up 5 spots, and he's now in the 9th. Wade Fields is back in 10th. Rounding out the top 10. Keeping it clean, keeping it green. Daniel J. Adams, 11th. Brent's back here in the 12th spot. Jeremiah, he's back in 13th. Jareth Pike, 14th. Ross, 15th. Zach is holding down the 16th spot. Landon, 17th. Bruce and Jamie McCarron is rounding out the field as of right now. Everyone else is in the pits or out of this race. So back up front we go. There's a gap up on the race screen. And this driver of Shea has completely checked out. And when I say completely checked out, he has a 4.5 second lead. This driver here is completely checked out. He has a 4.5 second lead over Trent. Justin holds down 3rd spot. Very good run by this 007 machine as he works down into turn number 1. He's moved up 8 spots in the Mac Daddy show. And can he try to get to the back bumper of Trent now? Yellow flag's on a wave. And that 5-second lead that Shea had is completely gone. And Landon Cardoza, I believe, is stuck to the inside wall. Flagman throws out the yellow flag. With 8 laps to go. This driver right here, though, the 007, Justin Sherman, is officially our unofficially our hard charge as of right now. Has moved up 8 spots and sitting in that last podium spot now. Can we go green flag racing from this point on? We'll be going green flag this time by 8 laps to go. When they get to the line, green flag out. Shea jumps out once again. A little swirly coming off of turn 4 for a lot of those drivers. Battling it out right here. Trent still holds down P2 where he's been all the night long. Justin still trying to grab that 3rd spot. Michael wants it back though. You can see that different line. Those top 3 drivers are all the way to the outside wall. These drivers trying to block that inside. Justin Sherman trying to make Michael pass him on the outside, but Michael's going to try to bully his way down to the inside, trying to grab some of that moisture, grab some of that grip down there. Into turns 3 and 4 now. These drivers wheel to wheel. Laps are winding down. If you want to make a move to that last podium spot, you better do it now. Jordan Edders back here in the 5th spot. Good run for him. Zach J. Miller still having a very solid run. And one driver I see go straight to the pits. So now their caution is back out. See what happened here. I think we had 2 crashes almost. This is Wade Fields. 32 machine. Oh, he taps the inside wall. Great job by those drivers, man. They were 3 wide. Contact was made under caution right there. Here we go. Going back under green. Flag racing lap 26 of 30. Trying to make it green flag all the way to the end. Waiting for this leader to step on the loud pedal, and he does. We're back under green. Here we go. The storyline right now is for this third spot. It may be for second now as we're almost 3 wide. Michael Sheridan tries a slide job for P2. Justin Sherman just sneaks right there on the bottom now of Trent. He gets bumped all the way back to 4th spot. He is outside of the podium spot after running 2nd place all night long. These two drivers have been going to absolute war. Justin Sherman, P2 when the caution waves. And a tough break. Tough break for this driver. Running P2 for 29 laps, and then you get bumped out and lost 2 spots in 1 corner. Yellow waved. I don't know exactly who crashed here. So we're gonna do the good old classic blimp cam. See if we can find it. There it is, front stretch. I think it might have been Brady King. There it is, spinning right there on the front stretch. Hard hit by some of those drivers too. A lot of tore up race cars. Just has moved up 8 spots for that P2. We're gonna have a green, white checkered. Green flag back out. Shea steps on the loud pedal. Now does Justin have anything for the race leader? Lap 30 of 31. We'll be seeing the green or the white flag next time by as these drivers work down the backstretch. The storyline here tonight is here for the 2nd spot. Justin's trying to hold back Michael as he blocks an inside, defends an inside lane. White flag out for the 021 machine. Has led lap number 1 all the way to lap number 31. And coming off at turn number 4, Shea's going to do it. For the race number 1, Justin 2nd, Michael 3rd. Everyone else comes across the line. Fireworks shoot off. Absolutely dominating performance by this driver. Driver out of Carolina led lap number 1 all the way to the very end, man. 1 point and a 5-second race lead. Honestly got lost due to some cautions. But great job by all these drivers that made the Mac Daddy show. 45 drivers, only 22 drivers got to start. We'll jump into the Discord and see if we can find, talk to these guys. Track was completely slicked up here tonight. This league does not reset the track whatsoever. From warm-up to all the way to lap number 32 of the A main. As we wait here in the Discord page, we'll try to talk to our third place driver, Michael, whenever he jumps in here. But as we wait, we'll talk to our second place runner, the runner-up, Justin. Justin, how's it going, man?
Going pretty good. I'm pretty excited.
Dude, race number 1, man. Kind of a wild night for you. Regardless, you got to move up 9 spots here in the A main show to finish there in P2.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised I did that. I mean, this is my first time in like a real league where it's that slick. So I'm pretty impressed with myself with my performance and my setup choices with how slick that really got.
Yeah, man. So from practice all the way here to the A main show, no track reset whatsoever. From the A main show, from lap 1 to lap 31, how much did your driving style have to change?
I don't know. It was because I don't really I haven't ran Weedsport in a long time. It was really hard to really slow the car down to get to the bottom because I forget how much you really have to slow down. So first few laps, that's what I was getting used to because I figured that I was doing pretty good, and I recognized I was doing pretty good. And then I realized 3 and 4, I think the top or the middle-ish was kind of doing good, but I wasn't comfortable going all the way up there from the bottom of turn 2. So I kind of just was kind of sticking to the bottom the entire time. I had Michael behind me. Had a great battle with him. For the last little bit, I was playing a little bit defensive. And then late in the race, I think the 3 and 4 in the middle ran really well. And then 1 and 2 at the end, I was just kind of keeping it down low, doing the best I can to keep it straight.
Man, race number 1 is in the books, and out of 45 drivers, man, you finished in that second spot. So congratulations, and a very good way to start off your race season for the National Auto Racing Club. You got any shout outs, teammates, friends, family that you'd like to give?
Not really sure. It's kind of a one man thing for now. But I thank my dad for making this. His real life. I base my car off of his real life car, so I guess that's all I can really give a shout out to.
Well, very cool, man. We'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you next week, next Wednesday night, here in the National Auto Racing Club.
For sure. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Congratulations on that P2, man. Moving up 9 spots. That's big time. Big time in this league. Definitely with 45 drivers. But the guy that led every single lap, man. Shay, you had a 5-second lead at one point, man.
Yeah, this thing was hooked up, man. I knew when I ran a 14.9 on lap 24 that we were going to be all right. It was just a matter of getting a good green flag run and feeling the car, under that long run, seeing how the track developed, and it never went away from that slider line in 1 and 2, and top in 3 and 4. So I, stayed there, and like I said, when my lap times on those last like 6 laps were only half a second off of my fastest lap of the race, I felt pretty good.
Man, now I always have a big problem of trying to race some really slicked up racetracks. How much full throttle was you?
Oh, coming out of 4, you're maybe 30%, and then no more than half down the front stretch for sure. And you're just waiting for that bump. That bump is my key at the flag stand to where I got to start turning in. That's my marker. So that's my little secret to everybody. Once you hit that bump, you got to start getting that car turned in. And then on the backstretch, I was wide open. As soon as I would get out of 2 there and put that right rear on the cushion, away getting into 3. But if there's one thing I can suggest to Weedsport, let's put a light in turn 3 so I can see where I'm going. It's a little tough to see out there on the wall. It's a little dark in these night races.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely with the dust now too that iRacing has implemented. But late race cautions.
Those cautions, it gave me a chance to kind of look around and see if anything else was developing. I didn't see much. There didn't look like there was much marbles through the middle on 1 and 2. It looked like the dirt was pretty wet through there, but not enough for me to give up on that slider line in 1 and 2. And then 3 and 4, I just knew it was way too dry through 3 and 4 to try anything else. So I stayed through the top there, and the cautions kind of played a bigger role in the beginning. Honestly, I felt like my car was so good early on that usually when that happens to me, it's going to fall off later. So I was hoping I could get a big lead and just kind of cruise, but a couple late cautions, and then like I said, my lap times are still good later on. So I think I figured something out finally here at Weedsport.
Well, man, congratulations on this. The very first race number 1 for this race season is in the books, man. And man, I believe you're a points leader now. So congratulations, man. And great job out there, man. Dominating performance. You got any sponsors, teammates, anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, big thanks to you for coming on board again this season and broadcasting this for these SSR guys. I love watching your broadcasts and stuff. It's a good, exciting race and real professional looking. Always love that. Big shout out to Tommy and all the SSR admins that help kind of make this thing go every week. I know it's a pain in the butt to try and get this thing going and get 60 cars, and it takes up a lot of people's time. So time is money, and I can't thank those guys enough for putting in the time every week and pretty much every night with SSR. And then all our sponsors at Elbows Up, all my teammates, all those guys know who they are. So don't want to take up too much more time, but yeah, thanks for everybody putting this on.
Absolutely, man. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you.
And the guy that's finishing in the 3rd spot now, going backwards a little bit, Michael. Man, how's it going, man? You had a complete war out there for that 2nd spot.
Yeah, and Justin and I had a really good battle there for pretty much the last half of the race, going back and forth. That was a good show. That was a lot of fun.
Man, it was. You guys were actually battling for that 3rd spot, and then I think Trent hit the wall or something, and you guys just kind of snuck there on the bottom side to capture that 2nd and 3rd spot, man. But your car, late runs, that outside, was it hooked up at all?
Not for me. I tried a little something different tonight and did not like it. I'll say that. I tried going up there to the top, and it just did not feel well at all. So I just stayed on the bottom and just kept trying to hit those spots to make it work, and was lucky enough to make it work long enough to come home on a 3rd.
Man, I asked the race winner Shay that or this, but how much full throttle was you around this place?
Not at all. It was pretty much half to 3/4 throttle throughout the race. Once I was, being down on the bottom where I could see the grip, I'd get a little bit more aggressive on the throttle, but never full.
Well, man, third place for race number 1 for this brand new season. That's I would call that a pretty solid run, man.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. You always want to get up higher. Obviously, you want to try to get that top spot, but you can't really complain with 3rd.
Well, man, you got any friends, family, sponsors that you would like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, all my teammates with the Brent Marks Racing Sim team. Thank our sponsors, M&M Painting and Construction, Babs Auto Paints and Supply, Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel, Nice Crete and Landis Block and Concrete, Wicked Cushion Esports, K1 Race Gear, R.E. Pearson Construction Company, Wolf Run Landscaping. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting, and thanks to all the admins that helped put this thing on. Those guys do a lot of work and greatly appreciated. Congrats to Justin on 2nd place, and congrats to Shay on the win.
Very cool, man. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good. You have a good one.
Thanks, man. It is, man. It's a lot of work for the race admins to get this race up and going, make the schedule, try to please everybody, try to make everyone happy, and yet still race. Obviously, always a little bit of drama after a hard night of racing, man, and admins, they always have to deal with that stuff week in and week out. National Auto Racing Club, if you guys like to join this league, go check them out on Facebook. You guys can always shoot me a message. I'll try to get you guys hooked up. They got this series. They got big block modifieds. They got an iRacing Camp 360 series. They got about everything. Jump into their Discord of I don't know how many members. Hundreds of members. Until next Wednesday night, we'll be back with a National Auto Racing Club. Let me verify. Lernerville. I always get Lernerville and Lanier mixed up by Lernerville. 421. 1 day over. That's where we'll be going. Lernerville with these 360 sprints. Race number 1's in the books. If you did not make the AMA, you got to do a little bit of adjustment, a little bit of practice. You'll get right back in there for race number 2. Congratulations to the top 3 and everybody that showed up here tonight. Thanks for the great racing from Heat Race 1 all the way to the Mac Daddy Show. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, be a nice person. Mean people suck. And enjoy some iRacing.com. Till next time, until next Wednesday night, this is Whiskey Oval _TV. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you guys at 8 o'clock Eastern.